in my eyes. Tell me what you see. The world is mine and everything in between. Yeah, let me in. You always hold me, yeah.
Welcome back to another Road to A Group. This time we're going to Barber Motorsports Park out in Alabama. This is my first time there. I've been trying to get here for a hot minute, if I'm being honest. It took me a really long time to get here. This is a monumental part of the journey for Road to A Group because ultimately I'm trying to get my race license. I want to start racing. I want to get out there and compete. And my only goal for myself was I wanted to get to B Group first before I even thought about going and getting a race license. I didn't find out till later on that you can just kind of go get a race license and start racing, even if you're a novice. I don't know, that's kind of wild. Didn't think that was a thing, but apparently it is. Big thing about Barber was it's not cheap, but it's beautiful. It's kind of worth it when you think about it. Yeah, that track is something else. I thought Road A was my favorite, but now Barber, I get why people love Barber now. You know, it's like Road Atlanta and Amp had a baby and it's from Alabama. I don't know. But yeah, first time at Barber, we're going to take a couple looks at how I got bumped. So before I get into any footage, I just want to show where I worked on throughout the day to get faster. And mainly it was T6 here with Charlotte's Web because I wasn't picking the bike up with the throttle more so. I was trying to pick the bike up with my body and strength rather than just getting on that throttle and opening up and allowing the physics of the bike to stand itself up. Okay, let's talk about that lap. So, as you saw, turn 6, might not be able to really tell on video, but my entry was pretty decent, but coming out, I was kind of fighting the bike to stand it up rather than just getting on throttle and letting it pull itself back up. So, turn 6 was like a big time saver, as well as going into turn 1, braking a little bit later, being a little bit braver, and also going through Museum or coming down the hill into Museum was another big time saver. So we're gonna get into the mistakes though, because these next couple of clips are gonna go over a little bit of my little hiccups that I had out there before the fastest lap. So let's get into it. So one thing that I needed to address was actually getting turn 6 correct. In this clip here, you're going to see that when I was coming into turn 6, you're going to see me run a little bit wide. And then when I run wide, you're going to see an R6 come up my inside. So when that R6 came up the inside, that's when I realized I was like, I'm really fighting the bike. And a buddy of mine that I met there, he was recording and he showed me video of me kind of like getting up a lot later and everyone else getting up faster than me when it came to getting on the throttle and like opening it up. So there was a lot to work on there, and I got that right by the end of the day. But as you can see now, I'm just chasing the tail of this R6 because I shafted myself in T6. So it was really good lesson. But one thing is I really enjoyed passing in turn 2 at this track. So these next couple clips right here are just a couple of my passes going into T2 on the outside, because one thing I really want to work on is setting up my passes again. With the idea of setting up passes for racing and everything, these are great times to practice that kind of stuff. So as you can see in these clips here, on the outside of this Aprilia, I really love those red wheels and I want one for my rear wheel. But again, setting up that pass on the outside, so it's great. And we're also going to get into this clip of setting up the pass onto the straight. So as you can see, I got a little close. I don't know if this is an R6. It might be a Ninja 400 though. I gotta look at the tail. But setting up the pass, coming into T1, as you can see how close I am. Kind of trying to negotiate where I'm going to go. I go really wide on the outside, but then he went wide because his bike went his inside. And then I get past on the further inside. But then I was just focusing on my exit speed and my exit drive. And as you can see here, good exit, good power, 1, 2, 3. This coach, though, beat me on the brakes, and he was right there, just right next to me. And I was like, oof, didn't even see him. So I didn't see this until the footage. I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. But still had a little hiccup out of there because, as you can see, I had a little bit of traffic in front and didn't want to change up my line too much in the middle of the corner. But we got it done. But let's get into this fastest lap. So, boom, there we go. As you can see in that clip, that ZX6 that passed me on the outside, that was the coach. That was Coach Jones. Shout out Coach Jones. this was when I asked him to follow me and everything. So this was that session, and as you can see, I put down a 154.9. So funny thing is, this was the last session of the day, and I got a lot more comfortable. And I wish I had like one more session because I found everywhere where I could push a lot more. And if you look at the telemetry and the data, you can see that I actually found time in the last sector. So everything else I was doing the same as far as running a 155. So I was doing everything the same in T6 and T2 and T1, and as well as coming down into museum. And after this, especially after looking back at it, I realized I was like, I can go harder into T1 because I thought I was braking a lot later than I actually was. So I can carry a lot more speed into T1, as well as that sector going into the museum straight. If you noticed, I was grabbing more brake after you go over that, before you go over that rumble strip. And if I just coast through there, I think I can carry speed down that hill onto museum. So I can't wait to go back again because I really think I can get into the sub 50s. So definitely think I can hit those 40s. And yeah, I'm really excited, and I gotta get back out there. But yeah, that was my fastest lap, and the boy got bumped. You know what I'm saying? Big bump shit. You feel me? So thanks again for watching. If you're interested in following the journey, think about subscribing and comment your next track day below. Let me know where you're gonna be at, and maybe we get out there and rip together, brother or sister. But yeah, I think Barber's my favorite track now. Not gonna lie, maybe I need to go to Road Atlanta one more time, but I think Barber's my favorite track. Road Atlanta in July. Let's get out there and rip it, baby.